Picture perfection with Apple HomeKit, where reliability meets your wildest expectations. I dare to dream because why not? I'm diving into my HomeKit aspirations for Apple's WWDC 2024. Stick around and compare your wish list to mine. In making this list, I had only one ground rule. It's a wish, not a prediction. This is what I want, not what I think Apple will do. So not likely a dream come true. In a few weeks at WWDC, Apple will be previewing the next major version of software for all their hardware platforms. iOS for iPhones, iPadOS for iPads, watchOS for watches, macOS for laptops and desktops, tvOS for Apple TV, and visionOS for Apple Vision Pro goggles. The emphasis is on software features and technology, not specific new products. The first day morning keynote showcases all the user-facing features, and the afternoon talk dives into the more technical aspects for programmers and app developers. Tech-savvy developers are a doubting bunch, and it takes a lot more substance, not just fluff, to get them excited. With all the leaks in the press, and even official statements from Tim Cook, Apple's CEO, this year's emphasis on AI is the worst-kept secret. But the devil is in the details. I would not be surprised if the constant mention of AI sucks all the air out of the room for anything else. So yeah, about HomeKit. Some people get really touchy when anyone says anything critical or points out the flaws with Apple's or any company's products. Without apology, I do need to state that I'm a big fan of Apple, the company, the people, and the products. So maybe I hold them to a higher standard, expecting them to do better than the rest of the smart home industry. At the very least, match the capability of their competitors. As I go through my wish list, I want you to keep in mind that in spite of all the limitations and deficiencies, I believe Apple has the potential to revolutionize the smart home industry. It's the companies that don't even get mentioned that should be scared. My top 5 wish list items. Make HomeKit reliable. If I can only have one wish, this would be it. And that is no mistake. I do mean make it reliable, not make it more reliable. Let's face it, HomeKit is far from reliable. There are simply too many situations where HomeKit doesn't work properly or stops working completely. Just spend a few minutes on tech-savvy HomeKit forums and you'll see a ton of complaints, from devices falling off the network, HomePods that lock up and become unresponsive, unreliable motion sensors, cameras that miss recording crucial events, and I won't even go near talking about all the problems with Siri voice control for our smart homes. Pulling out your hair, trying to figure out what is wrong when you haven't changed a thing in months is frustrating and has caused some of us to give up. I'm not talking about advanced or fancy AI, just the basics. When I press a button, open the Home app, or ask Siri to do something, it simply must work. Problems, hiccups, failures, or confusion are more common than not. After 7 years, basic Wi-Fi smart plugs still can mysteriously malfunction with no response errors, even while they're still working at the same time from Google, Amazon, or other systems. Now, I'm not here to play the blame game or point fingers between Apple, hardware manufacturers, and third-party developers. That's missing the point. Consumers want a smart home system they can count on. Maybe we can't get to the 30-year or more reliability of a toaster, but I think Apple can do a lot better than rebooting HomeKit devices every few weeks, every few days, or even every few hours. Thank you so much for watching this video. You are awesome. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, toggle that subscribe button, automate the bell icon, and get started on your next smart home project. Beef up Apple Home Hubs. Like it or not, smart home systems need a centralized server or hub to control everything. Sure, the original launch of HomeKit didn't require a hub, but Apple backtracked and now requires a HomePod or Apple TV in every HomeKit home. The HomeKit hub is critical. When the HomeKit hub malfunctions or fails, all HomeKit automations stop working, remote access from the outside is cut off, and wireless Bluetooth or newer Thread devices lose their connection. Apple, your very successful customers don't need to know how anything works approach fails miserably here. We need the ability to designate the primary HomeKit hub and the ability to control the backup selection when, not if, failures or changes occur. We have all seen that Apple TVs connected with wired Ethernet are more reliable than Wi-Fi only HomePods. Yet we have no way to force the Apple TV to be the active HomeKit hub, as you stubbornly insist with your secret incantations and algorithms on choosing an underpowered HomePod mini to be the active hub no matter how much we protest. Are you enjoying this video? YouTubers ask you to click the like button to beat the algorithm. The best reason to click is to reward yourself. By clicking on the like button, you tell YouTube what content to show you. Help me help you, and click that like button now. Automation routines and user programming need a complete overhaul. Shortcuts, personal shortcuts, series shortcuts, convert to shortcut. There are so many overlapping ways to create smart home related automations that it is totally confusing. Basic automation features that most other systems have are not available with HomeKit. We should have tools for developing automations that include folders, logging, tracing, debugging, and a web browser interface for serious work. Overwhelmed with smart home options? I offer private, one-on-one consulting sessions to help you design your own smart home. We'll work together to find the best products and systems for you, and I'll answer all your questions. The secret is saving you time will save you money. Use the link on the screen and make your smart home a reality. Boost security camera features. Apple, you made a good start with basic HomeKit security camera support and then following that up with HomeKit Secure Video, but nothing has changed in many years. Here's some of the crucial features you need to add ASAP just to catch up to the competition. 24-hour continuous recording. I'm sorry, but there is no good alternative to having the option for a complete video record. Mainstream consumers only turn to their security cameras after a catastrophic event and ask, how do I see what happened? I know there are non-trivial issues with storage capacity, cloud versus local, security and privacy, and other consideration, but that's on you, Apple. It's not rocket science, and increasing those lucrative cloud fees would probably be a nice present for Wall Street. On the hardware side, we need cameras, especially outdoor ones, that have all power and data supplied via single Power over Ethernet, or PoE cable. Wi-Fi, solar power, and batteries are nice options, but we need powered wired cameras that have been the standard for security cameras for years. Oh, and while you're at it, Apple, how about letting manufacturers use resolutions higher than 1080p? Sure, chasing megapixels has diminishing returns, like only considering megahertz speed and memory capacity for computers, but we are nowhere there yet. Please support more kinds of devices. I think this is often the most important request I hear from subscribers, and I would agree. I have this lower on my list because without a reliable, solid foundation, it doesn't make more sense to layer more goodies on top. Existing development for HomeKit supporting new products has ground to a halt as you, Apple, work to roll out the new Matter standard. But can you pick up the pace, Apple? Standards designed by committee are notorious for being slow to create and even slower to roll out. Yet the Matter standard released support for a slew of new product types last year, with the Matter 1.2 release that you, Apple, still haven't supported. Matter 1.2 device support, for those paying attention, includes robot vacuums, refrigerators, washing machines, dishwashers, smoke and carbon monoxide detectors, air quality sensors, air purifiers, room air conditioners, and fans. Now, Matter 1.3 was just released a few weeks ago, with yet even more devices you, Apple, don't support, including major home appliances such as microwave ovens, clothes dryers, energy and water management, electric vehicle chargers, water link sensors, water shutoff valves, freeze detectors, and rain sensors. I sure hope we'll see at least some new device support announced this time around. Lastly, Become dealer and integrator friendly. Apple, this might be something you don't care about or disagree with me, but you could do a lot more to make the adoption of HomeKit by dealers and custom integrators possible. At this time, the majority of the traditional custom integration market prefers to ignore most computer smart home tech, especially HomeKit. But funny thing, those lucrative clients that still buy custom bespoke systems from luxury integration dealers have started asking tough questions. It may have started with a lot of clients wanting that beautiful and well-designed Nest thermostat to work with their $50,000 Control4, Crestron, or other luxury system. But it expanded to putting inexpensive $50 Amazon Echo devices into many rooms for cheap but usable smart home voice control. Now more of them are using Philips Hue lights, Ring video doorbells and cameras, Apple HomePods, and other select mass-market products. There's a lot you, Apple, could be doing under the hood to facilitate peaceful coexistence or even synergy with the luxury smart home market. I believe the consumer and traditional smart home industry will be a lot of innovation as companies on both sides of the aisle will be working to redefine the landscape. I'd like to see you, Apple, participate too. So what do you think? Do you have an Apple HomeKit wish list? I'd love to hear your feedback in the comments below. Wondering what improvements Apple made for HomeKit last year? Refresh your memory with a summary of last year's WWDC. Watch this video next to see if you have been using any of those improvements.